Hi. Now, I've been doing a lot of Amiga stuff recently, and that's sort of facilitated the need for me to have an Amiga environment sort of readily available. So I installed OS 3.9 on WinUAE so that I can, just use an Amiga environment when I need to. But I found the process of getting that installed somewhat troublesome. But what I've done is I've whittled it down to the bare essentials, and I thought I'd do a video in case it would help somebody else who's trying to install OS 3.9 on WinUAE and are encountering similar problems to me. So this is just going to be a walkthrough of how to get it started. So my WinUAE is already installed. I'm not going to go through that. As you can see, I've got all different folders for all the different things. I don't start in quick start mode. I start so that it starts with the configuration, and all my paths, you can see here that they're all separate to individual things. Yeah, because I like that. I've got it set as relative and portable, so I can just pick this up and drop it anywhere else and it's still going to work. That's one of the beautiful things about portable applications, and it's what I prefer, really. So anyway, now I've got a few extra folders in here. I've got a folder called Shared, and that's going to be used for exchanging files between the Amiga side and the PC side. I have ISO, and that contains the OS 3.9 CD image. Wrong folder. HDD, which is going to have the hard drive images, and FDD, which is going to contain the floppy disk drive images. Okay, so I've got shortcuts here on the desktop, so let's start WinUAE, and you can see it's completely clean. So I'm going to start by taking a quick start, which is going to be the A4000-040. Okay, and I'm going to just click set configuration. Now if you don't have set configuration there, that's because you haven't got this ticked. Sorry, because you have got this ticked. So just untick that and you'll get that. Okay, so we're going to go through some of the stuff and hardware here. All this is okay here. Sorry, I've got hiccups. Chipset, yeah, we can leave that as is. Advanced chipset, leave that as is. ROM, it's selected the correct ROM. So again, I forgot to mention ROMs. You need ROMs. Get them legally, yeah. Okay, RAM. I'm going to give myself 8 megabytes of chip RAM. I don't think you can actually have 8 megabytes of chip RAM, I'm not sure, but I'm also going to give myself 32 of 32-bit chip. I'm also going to take off the motherboard fast RAM. Okay, and give myself some Z3 fast. Myself about 128 meg of that. That should be enough RAM to be going on with. Okay, floppy drives, we're going to enable all of those and just eject them so that they're ready to use. I've got it on turbo, so that's good. CD and hard drives, we'll come back to that. Expansions, the built-in expansion, which is the IDE port on the 600, 1200 and 4000, so we're going to use that. RTG, we're using Zorro 3. I'm going to click multi-threaded, disable that, get rid of scaling. Okay, so that's pretty much all the hardware dealt with. So I'm going to save that configuration. So the name's going to be A4000, and I'm going to call it main system. There we go. Now back onto the host side, display. So I'm using a 1080p monitor. I would imagine most people would be. If you're not, you're going to have to fiddle around with scaling and stuff like that, but as far as I'm concerned, 1080p is quite a decent resolution for doing this. Both of these are going to be full screen, and the full screen mode also going to be 1080p. Okay, this goes on to super high res. Okay, resolution auto switch is disabled. I think we're good there. Everything else can be left as is. So now going down to filter, we want null filter and we want no scaling, and the vertical sides needs to be 2 times. Okay, so that's not really scaling, that's just multiplication. So that looks good to me. So I think we're ready. So let's go back to configuration and save that config. Just make sure it's kept everything here. Yep. There's so many options on WinUAE, you just got to keep double checking in case you've missed something. I don't think I've missed anything. Oh, actually I have. In ROMs, I want to go down here, 128K ROM indirect. Yeah, nearly forgot that one. Save. Let's get the hard drive set up. So let's add a hard file, and I'm going to make a 2 gig drive. And click create. That's gone into my HDD folder automatically because it's already remembered what I've done before. So I'm going to call this A4000 main, so that I know what config that's associated with. Okay, it's put that up here. We want it bootable, read write, and we want full RDB mode. Okay, and the HD controller is going to be the IDE port, the emulated IDE port of the computer, and that's it. That's all we need on there. So click OK, and there we have it. We also need to add a CD drive. So again, go down to this controller, and we want device number 1 because this is the hard drive is device number 0. So device number 1, and add CD drive. And I'm just going to use image mode. So that seems good. So let's save that configuration. And that should be the finished config. Now we will be adding things like mounting floppies and shared folders and stuff while we're doing the installation, but when it's finished, this should be the finished state of the system. So I'm going to go into the ISO. I'm going to open that with WinRAR. Okay. And I'm going to come back a folder and go into my shared. Now in here, this is the contents of the CD-ROM. You should see OS version 3.9. Go into there and you'll see Workbench 3.5. Copy this out into your shared folder. Okay, job's a good one. So I'm going to launch WinUAE now, and if we go into CD and hard drives, oops, I need to load the configuration first. Always remember to do that. Okay, I'm going to add a directory or archive. I'm going to call this SHA and emergency boot. Boot priority, I want it a higher boot priority than the hard drive, so I'm going to set it to a bit lower than a disk, so I'm setting it to 3 because the disk is 5, hard drive is 0. The path is going to be in the shared folder Workbench 3.5, so select that folder, and I think we're good. There we go. So it should boot from this when it starts up. Okay, so hopefully, let's see if it works. Yep, there we go. So we need to run HD Toolbox, so I'll just execute a command just to prep up the hard drive, and there's our hard drive. Okay, read configuration, install. Yep, partition. I just want one partition. I'm gonna mess about. Okay, DH0. I want it bootable with a priority of 0. Okay. and exit. Now we can reboot, and hopefully we'll have the unformatted drive pop up. There we are. So go down to format disk. Bloody noisy git. Okay, so this is going to be the main system folder, or main system partition, so I'm going to call it Workbench 39. Leave everything. You don't want directory cache on, that will just screw up your hard drive. So quick format, go. And there we are. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to save this configuration. Now I am saving it with this shared folder in place. I'll remove it later. It's just that I don't have to keep entering it, so I'm just going to save it like this. And that's my phone. Hello? Oh, okay. So let's load that configuration. And what I'm going to do is just select the ISO image file, and I'm going to tick CDFS auto mount here, and then start, and this should mount the CD-ROM temporarily. And there we go. You can see we've got it there. So let's start going to Amiga OS again, and then installation. And what we want to do is create an emergency disk. So select create emergency disk, click proceed, install for real, and DF0. So at this point I need to insert a blank disk. So I'm going to press F12. Now we're going to go down to floppy drives. I'm going to create standard disk here, and this is going into the FDD folder, and this is going to be emergency 39. Okay, and save. Now we're going to insert that disk into DF0, click OK to return to the emulation. Just give it a little time just to sort itself out, and then click proceed. Proceed again, and this will set up the emergency boot disk that we're going to need. Okay, that's that done. Now we still need to modify that a little bit, because what's happened is we've set up the emergency disk using WinUAE's sort of ad hoc CD device, and we don't want it to use that. We want it to use the SCSI device, the actual inbuilt device. So if we go into our EMBoot here, go to tools and then edit pad, and we're going to open, go to volumes, and then there's emergency disk here. Go into devs, DOS drivers, and emergency CD, and open that. And you can see here that it's using UAE SCSI unit 0, and that's not right. We want SCSI device unit 1. Okay, then we can save that, and our emergency disk is now ready. So quit out of that. Configuration we can now load. Now we can go to here and get rid of this. We don't need this anymore, so I'm going to remove that, resave the configuration. Okay, and floppy drives, we want to insert our emergency disk, and we need to boot from it. Now just select the image file there to go down in here, and we should be good to go. This should start the emulator with the CD-ROM mounted correctly. through the normal IDE interface inside the Amiga or the emulated Amiga. So let's give that a go. And there we are. It's not particularly readable because it's in a low colour mode and it's got this stupid background on there. Okay, so let's open, you see there, that's Amiga OS 3.9. Can barely read it, but that's what it is. We'll go into here and we'll go into OS 3.9 installation. And this time we're actually installing it. So we're using the third option here, which is MTHD. Click proceed. Proceed again. Thank you, license agreement. Click proceed again. And we're installing onto DH0, Workbench 3.9. Click proceed. English. I'm going to put file printer and PostScript. You know, probably also Epson printers, HP LaserJet, HP DeskJet. That should cover most things that are available now. Click proceed. I'm in England, so I'm going to select British. Proceed again. I have well more than 10 megabytes, so that's not a problem. And the installation is off. Do registration. No, I will not bother. Would you like to install your CD-ROM driver? Yes, why not? Please insert, it's already there. Remove all the discs from the floppy drive and select the proceed gadget to reboot your Amiga. So let's do what it says. Floppy drive, eject, okay, and proceed. And hopefully we should now boot into the hard drive, which we have, and it's still mounting the CD, so that's good. So this desktop is terrible, so let's just sort that out. We need prefs, screen mode. Let's go the highest res we can. Give ourselves a load of colours. Okay, that was bizarre. Okay. Yeah, what can you do? So I'm just going to give myself as much real estate on here as I can by adjusting the Overscan. So let's go into Overscan. There we go. And there we go. So in native Amiga graphics mode, that's not bad at all. I'm not keen on that backdrop though, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, that's better. And I don't like the Workbench to be in a window. I'm not keen on this thing here, this AMI dock, so we're going to get rid of that. Take that out of there. Okay. Let's see if we've now got a working system. Jolly good. Right, now we're going to install the Picasso drivers. So to do that I need the OS 3.9 again, so press F12. Select the ISO and click OK. And hopefully they should appear on the desktop. There we go. Go into Contribution and Picasso 96 install. And we'll just set that up. So first install, intermediate will do. Install for real. Proceed, proceed, proceed. Please read the documentation. No. Okay, UAE GFX is already ticked, that's what we want. So click proceed. Syslibs, sysdevs, monitors, sysprefs. All this is standard. This here, we don't have a work partition, so we need to select another location. So we're going to go into DH0, Picasso 96, and we'll install it there instead. Do you want to have the application drivers copied? Yes, may as well. Printer patch, why not? Yep. And now it's going to give us a load of, proceed with copy, proceed with copy. And again, and again. It's really tedious. And it's complete. Okay, so I'm now going to quit out of that and restart it again. There we go. Now go down into our prefs, screen mode, and we should have all the UAE modes. And I'm going to select 1080p mode. An Amiga running in 1080p. Crazy, eh? 32-bit mode has disappeared. That's strange. Oh, I know why. I know why. Sorry about this. Hang on. Let's just quit out of that. I haven't given the RTG board enough VRAM. Go to the RGB and let's just give it 128. Doesn't need that much, but whatever. Got plenty of RAM in this system, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, save that config. And off we go again. There's always something I forget. Okay, Workbench. Go into Prefs. I keep using the mouse wheel, it doesn't work. Okay, Prefs, Screen Mode. Now hopefully we should have the 32-bit in 1080p now. Yes, there we go. Okay, let's test that, make sure it works. Yep, you can see all the horizontal and vertical lines are not worrying, so that's good. So just save that. And there we go. All done. We've now got our Amiga installed 1080p, working really nice and fast, but you know, this machine is a pretty fast system. But yeah, that's how you do it. I hope it helped you out. See you later. Bye.